Morning, folks. Welcome to the Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. We are live from Augusta as promised. Day one of the Masters is in the books. I am here with Brandon Walker. And of course I am not, because Brandon and I had planned to do a little day one Masters recap, and I just went to his room to get the keys to the car so that I could get my phone, and he was it sounded like he was puking. It sounded like he was having an exorcism, to be quite frank with you. I don't know what happened to him. Something has gone wrong with Brandon Walker, folks. I don't really know what to say. If you're here for the Joey Show, you don't know what this is. If you're here from the Yak, a lot of people were coming up to Brandon today and demanding to know where the big pencil was. Truth be told, it is here with us in Augusta. It is here. It stayed in the car today. We did some recon. I talked to some security guards, as I promised on the last Yak. It is unlikely that it's going to get in, but we will try tomorrow. Now, I was looking forward to having a little recap with him, talking about the incredible experience that we just had walking inside of one of the most gate-kept realms in American sporting society. When you walk into the Masters, it's something I've always wanted to do. I finally got to do it. Maybe I'll turn this light on. I'm a little buzzed, folks. I had a nice time. I'm not going to lie. Let's try this. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't need to work. Who cares? You walk in, and immediately my first thought when I walked in was, wow, this is Disneyland if it was real. Disneyland for real adults. It is perfect. Not a blade of grass is out of place. The sand is perfect. The water is perfect. The vibe is perfect. Their concession stands run like a buck ease. Okay, it is what capitalism is supposed to look like. It's a beautiful experience. It is as good as people say. Now, I could put on my cynic hat and say, is the pimento cheese sandwich the best sandwich I've ever had in my life? No. Is it the best $1.50 sandwich I've had that is part of a tradition that's unlike any other? Yeah. Can I tell you that we should have got sunscreen? Well, take a peek at this. You tell me. You tell me if we should have done sunscreen. Now, if you're just listening to the podcast, what we are looking at is it looks like I am wearing two red, like if Allen Iverson wanted to wear a pink sleeve, that's what my arms look like. It's an absolute disgrace. But today was an absolutely beautiful experience. Now, why am I here on my own instead of with Brandon Walker, the lovely man who we covered on the last podcast, brought me to the Masters last second? Well, around 3 p.m. today, he got a little tired. He got a little tie mung, and that's okay. That happens to the best of us. I don't fault him for that at all. We were excited little boys. I was up. I couldn't sleep last night. I haven't been able to sleep for the last 3 nights because I've been thinking about waking up and going to Augusta. Kid on Christmas, 3 straight nights. If he's not here, I'm going to take up the space. 3 straight nights, okay, that I have thought about this. So last night I go to bed around midnight. I was up getting the last episode up. Looks like 0 of you viewed it on YouTube. That's fine. That's not your fault. We're trying. And I was up late, and then I was up early because I was so excited because it was Masters Day. And we got out there, and we saw it immediately. And the second we walked in 13th green, 14th tee, okay? The 13th, you're seeing Rays Creek. You're seeing the azalea, but you just see it immediately, and you just go, holy fucking shit. I feel like I just walked into a screensaver. I feel like I just walked into a painting, and it is a painting. It's what paintings want to be, but you're in it in 3D. I walked into that at sunrise. It was beautiful. It was awesome. It was immaculate. It was a beautiful master's experience. And then everyone says, get the food. Got to get the chicken biscuit. I had the chicken biscuit for breakfast. Is it dry? Yeah, it's just fried chicken and a biscuit. Sure. Do they have Texas Pete's hot sauce? Yeah, they do. When you add that, is it great? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a special experience. I realize that not everyone who listens to this is a golf fan. This is not a sports podcast, and even if it was, not everyone would be a golf fan. But what's interesting to me about the Masters is how much it has, in a world that has become dominated by technology, the bet that it made, the gamble that it made that we're not going to let people have tech in, has actually made it more successful in a social media-driven environment, because the things that you hear about it, the words that you hear about it, are people's experiences. Instead of seeing 1,000 shitty pictures with 1,000 people in the back of your pictures also taking pictures of the Masters, because you can't bring your phone in, and because it's a perfectly manicured experience, and because no stone is left unturned, and they tend to every bunker, and they tend to every blade of grass, and they think about the food, and they make it cheap, and they think about the lines, and they make them quick, and they do all this sort of stuff. Because they do all that, and then you walk in and you internalize your experience, you tell it to other people through your emotion, through your words, through people's writing, through professional photography, through the fact that only so many people can get in. It becomes a special thing because it's filtered through the human experience. And it's interesting to me because that's how life always used to be. Everything used to be, I have an experience, let me internalize it, let me write you a letter about it. When we used to write each other letters, we were preparing art for one another. We were actually processing something, experiencing it in the moment, thinking about it on our own time, deciding what it meant to us, infusing it in beautiful language, and sending it through the mail to someone else. I know that's never coming back. I know that's, whatever, it's kind of stupid, but it's real. And in a world where everything is clipped and ripped, and where photos are just storied, and where you walk in and I'm already nervous that I need to get all the merch and do all the things and see all the holes. If I had to take pictures on top of that, if my brain of making content was on top of that, it would be a worse experience. I make content for a living. So does Brandon. He's not here. Maybe he will be eventually when he's done throwing up. What happened to him? We don't know. We'll figure it out. When you make content for a living, you are monetizing everything that you're doing. And once you turn everything that you're doing, once you turn your experiences into a job, you lose some of the art, you lose some of the reality, you lose some of the poetry to it. And what the Masters has done in terms of not letting you bring your shit in is it's made itself rare in a world where it's made itself scarce in a world where everything is abundant. And so you could go there and say, like, well, those weren't the best sandwiches I've ever had. But once you walk in there, you are enchanted by the entire experience. And by the time I got to the merch store, I was like, I'm going to drop fucking money because I want stuff, because I don't have photos. And that's one of their other brilliant things. Since you can't have a photo, you can buy merch and they can fucking take you for a bunch of money. But it's fucking awesome, and it's so worth it, and it's so good. And so I guess this is me saying you should go. You should go. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Masters, but you should go. And as someone who has never been able to find a way to go, because it's basically impossible until I went on a podcast and got invited out of the fucking blue, my advice is go to the Masters. It's great advice. I think my advice is actually that I hope I take something away from this. That of course I will always, in my life, I'm trying to share my life with people so that I can live a public life and make money off that, obviously. So I will always be taking photos and videos and contentizing some parts of my life. But I want to take something from this, which is like, I didn't miss my phone. We got there at 7:30 a.m. We were out the door at 6:30. We parked, whatever. So we were basically, phones were gone by 7 a.m. I didn't have my phone until, it's almost 8. I didn't have my phone until 7:30. I did not miss it one time. There were things I thought about. Oh, can I get the weather? Oh, can I do this? Oh, I'd love to know who's scoring and doing whatever. I did not miss it other than that at all. They had phones there. I could call the people that I loved. I called a couple people. Amazing. So much better. So much better. So there is a manicured, beautiful experience here that is so cool, and I'm so grateful to be experiencing it. And as you can see, I have my beautiful backdrop here, which is the Comfort Inn, which is an absolute shit bucket, but for the price we paid, might as well be a Fairmont. But that's my night one so far. I mean, I have a lot more things to say. But I kind of want to save some of them for Brandon because I think he's going to come on at some point. But we had a nice time. I mean, we saw a lot of the holes. He left around 3 because he was getting a little tired, and I had that moment where, look, I've been here since 6:30. I could leave. Was I almost nodding off in a couple of chairs? Yeah, I was tired. Yeah, but you get tired at 34. Okay, Brandon doesn't drink. I'd had one beer. I was like, yeah, I'm getting a little tired. I'd had 5 sandwiches, chicken biscuit, pimento cheese, chicken salad, classic chicken, another pimento. I had a lot of sandwiches. Ice cream sandwich, the peach ice cream sandwich. You got to have it. It's one of the best, probably the best thing here. One crow's nest. Enjoyed the crow's nest. But around 3, we went to the merch store. We hit it. Less line in the afternoon. We went out to the car, and Brandon was like, maybe I'm going to run the air conditioning for a minute. And then what ended up happening is he was like, yeah, I think I'm done. That's okay. Hey, I'm sunburnt. We discussed it. We've seen it. I'm sunburnt as well. I'm burnt. Brandon clocked out. That was fine. And he was very gracious about it. He was like, I'm sorry, is this, not ideal? And I was like, I was about to answer, and then he was like, actually, I just gave you free Masters tickets randomly. And I was like, exactly. So I was good. So he bounced. I put on this long sleeve, yeeted myself back in, went solo. Okay. I had a nice solo journey. I walked right back in. I was like, one beer. You have one beer, you start hitting the downslope. I walked back in. I hit 2 immediately. Boom, boom. Then I was fucking cooking. Went to Amen Corner. Just posted up. 11th green, 12th tee off. Absolutely electric. Incredible time. One more pimento sandwich. Yes. Another beer. Yes. One more beer. Yes. I had a great time. Yes, I did. I had no way home. Didn't care. Stayed till 6 p.m. Solo journey. Don't care how often does this happen. Be a legend. Be a legend. Live your life. Enjoy the moments that are given to you on a silver platter. I could have come back and taken a nap. What kind of fucking bitch am I? I'm not doing that. And I know people who would do that, and respect. Some people are nap people. Some people are sleepy people. That's fine. Sometimes I'm a sleepy person too. Pick your fucking moments. Sometimes it's time to live. And it was a time to live today. And boy, did I fucking live. Boy, did I live. I like being alone. I'm going to throw that out there right now. Not in my life. I enjoy having a wife. I enjoy having friends. People around me is very important. I also enjoy being alone. I can throw a party for me. And it's fun. It's a good time. Because you know what's crazy about throwing a party for me? I always like the way that I threw it. It turns out when you're throwing a party for one, that one person always agrees with the party planner. We always knew what hole to go to. We knew when it was time to have another beer. We knew when it was time to have a sandwich. Wasn't that fun for us? Yeah. It was fun for us. I don't think that's... I think that's something that some people think is not easy to do until you've done it. And sometimes it is nice to just try that. I would encourage you to try that. Sometimes throw a party for one. I do believe, I'm a strict believer in the fact that you have to focus on the relationships in your life. Do you want to have good relationships with your friends? Yes, you have to invest time. Sometimes you have to invest money. Sometimes your friends want to do things you don't want to do. You decide to do them, you show up for them, you become a better friend to that person, you become closer to that person. Sometimes there's a wedding you don't want to go to. You go, they feel closer to you. Sometimes you just met a guy on a Barstool podcast and you go to the Masters together, and that improves your friendship. The time you invest in the relationships in your life will yield back to you. It's real. This is important in your relationships. You hear this from people who have had kids. I've not had kids, but they say, oh, we need to remember to date one another. Yes, you're spending a lot of time together, but you need to spend time that's invested in you too. That could save your relationship. Your relationship might be on the rocks right now. You should think about that. Invest time into it. Now, if all those relationships are important, isn't the relationship with yourself important too? If the relationship with yourself isn't good, then none of the relationships in your life are going to be good, because if you hate you, how could you like someone else? You're going to see mirrored things that bother you. You're going to be ornery. You're going to be pissed. You're not going to bring the right energy to the situation. No one wants to rescue you from your pit. They might, and they might do it, and they should do it, but no one wants to. What people want and what builds relationships is when you show up with your cup full and you're a vibe, and your cup is so full that it's spilling into their cup. That's what people want. And the only way you can do that every once in a while is investing time in you. Now, we all spend a lot of time alone. I spend a lot of time alone. Of course I do. But usually I'm like working out. Yeah, it's good for the body. Working on stuff. Yeah, it's good for my life. All that. Sometimes you need to party for one. And I did that today. I went and I crushed beers alone. It sounds sad. It wasn't sad. I was surrounded by people. I didn't want to talk to them. I was having a nice time. I had a great fucking time. I had a party for me. And it was great. So I encourage you to do that if you ever get the opportunity. I think that there's always a time where it's like, well, my bride's going home. I might as well just fucking do it. And it's like, there might be a little more juice you could squeeze. And if you can squeeze that all for yourself, that will actually help the people around you. So I had a great time, I guess, is the point today. It was awesome. I think either this will be the end of a little bonus episode, or this is just part one, and we'll have Brandon pop on here shortly. We'll let you know. Thank you so much. This is the Joey Show from the Masters, from the Comfort Inn in Augusta. Is it great? No. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. I've been Joey Avery. This has been The Joey Show. Good night. Thank God I have a podcast.